What is good, y'all? This is JB here, and today I got a special video for you guys. Now, I've been trying to do like album reviews on this channel in the past, and I finally wanted to really incorporate that heavy into my channel, so I'm going to try something new, and I'm going to try to give my quick thoughts on a new album that's released. And the first one we're going to do today is the new Kanye album, The Life of Pablo. There's not going to be no formal review or anything. I'm just going to go track by track and basically give some quick thoughts on it, and then at the end of the video I'll give my overall thoughts on the album. So don't take it too seriously. We're just gonna, go through, and I'm gonna share how I feel about this particular album. First track, we got Ultralight Beam. Got Chance the Rapper, Kirk Franklin on the second half of the song, and the choir to give this song a very gospel kind of feel to it. Love this song. It was an excellent way to open it up. Really impassioned vocals from Kanye at the rip there. Again, he's not the best vocalist, so from that perspective, I mean, at times it gets a little rough to listen to, but you can definitely hear the sincerity in his voice and his delivery, and the subject matter of the song is just absolutely beautiful. I'm not a particularly religious man, but I thought the song was, impactful even to me. I really, felt that into that delivery. The little intro and outro with the little kid, that was cute. And yeah, man, the chorus sounded absolutely fantastic. Chance really held his own in the middle part of that. And yeah, absolutely super powerful song. Second one, we got Father Stretch My Hands Part 1. Really excited about this particular song. As soon as I started listening to it, I was instantly transported back to like the intro of 808s back when him and Kid Cudi collabed back then. They have like a certain kind of chemistry that's absolutely fantastic between them. So hearing them both, together again, I thought Kid Cudi did a solid job on it, and I thought it was a pretty cool, way to bring in the album yet again. A nice return to form for Kanye. Father Stretch My Hands Part 2, obviously a huge banger. People seem to really be liking this. Kind of weird that it like literally takes the song, the Panda by Designer, and like just puts it in there with some overlaid vocals from Ye. Because I had been jamming to that song Panda by Designer for the past few weeks since it dropped. He's out of Brooklyn. Big fan of what he's doing, man. I absolutely love that song. But it was really cool to hear Kanye, his particular take and his real kind of like sharp transitions that he uses, and kind of put that in there. So that was dope, and it was cool to see Designer on actually 2 tracks. Fourth track, we got Famous featuring Rihanna. Definitely could see some degree of radio appeal from this one. Nothing too particularly extravagant with this. Rihanna didn't go necessarily all out, and Ye wasn't spitting the hardest bars. But I thought, some of the Taylor Swift jokes on there, that was pretty funny. People seem to be really up in arms with it. I thought it was typical Ye. It was nothing really all that surprising to me. So I really enjoyed this song. Again, nothing wild, unpredictable here. To me, this just seemed like a run-of-the-mill Kanye Rihanna collab. It's definitely not all the lights, but it fit into this album pretty well. We got Feedback. Love the instrumental on this one. His bars are not necessarily blowing me out of the water, but the production on the song is on point. Very memorable beat selection on this one. We got Lowlights, the kind of like spoken word thing that the woman put together. Really enjoyed that one. Not much. There's this little spoken word interlude they put in. Highlights with Young Thug. Really surprised about this track. I didn't really know how the dynamic was going to be between Thug and Kanye. I'm a fan of both artists. But I mean, it pretty much is to what you would expect. A very melodic, light piece, because Young Thug is definitely one that you could count on more for his melodies than his particular bars and delivery. But they both have a really unique flair and an interesting chemistry together, so I thought that was a pretty cool song. Nothing, again, that I'm gonna have in like regular rotation. It's not necessarily like Thug at his best, like Hercules or Best Friend or Power, tracks like that. But I thought, it was a pretty solid track, and supposedly they have 40 songs together, or something Ye said on his Twitter the other day. So I look forward to hearing those. We got Freestyle 4 with Designer. Designer definitely has that, futuresque kind of delivery style. I hear a little bit of definitely like that Southern Trap, Migos kind of Skipper the Flipper kind of flow to him. So, he kind of did his thing on the second half of there, and then Ye did his basically like, are we fucking now kind of thing. Yeah, it was okay track. Definitely kind of like this is the thing I have a problem with. This whole new culture of like you throw the word freestyle on something and suddenly like it's not supposed to be held up to like the same lyrical standards as something else. Oh, because it's just a freestyle. But I mean, I don't know. It was a little lackluster, and you could definitely tell it was a freestyle. But I don't know. I didn't find this song very necessary. This is one of the ones I felt like didn't necessarily need to be on there, but it has its place. I love Kanye. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, that's literally Kanye 100%. This is exactly what I expected. And I really enjoy the self-awareness behind this track. The fact that he knows all the memes and the stuff that people say about him, and he's super aware of it. And so he's just going to play into it. So I really enjoyed it in that regard, and I thought that was a nice little touch. Waves featuring Chris Brown. Thought it was a solid track. Pretty Chris Brown heavy. Apparently, this is a song that Chance was fighting really hard to get on the album, and I can't necessarily understand particularly why. I mean, it's a good song, don't get me wrong. It's a solid song, it's a jammer. It's by no means my favorite song on the album. But I don't know, it was a pretty straightforward Ye track, and I don't see what the whole fuss was that about. FML featuring The Weeknd. Now, this is my jam. Just something about the flow, the delivery, kind of the ethereal nature and the like atmospheric nature of this particular track, and then The Weeknd almost haunting vocals on the second half of that. I mean, absolutely fantastic. We got Real Friends that he released that on, Good Friday out there on SoundCloud some weeks before the album. So, definitely one of the best songs on this album. Definitely got some radio play on that. Ty Dolla $ign absolutely murdered his contribution on there. So, yeah, I mean, I've spoken about Real Friends, big fan of it. Definitely made a lot more, I loved it to begin with, but I also brought an added level of depth to the album, kind of hearing it in the context of the completed work. We got 13 Wolves with Frank Ocean. This one's tough because I heard it obviously on, I think it was Yeezy Season 2, he initially debuted it, and back then it had Sia and Vic Mensa on it, and I really enjoyed it. So hearing it kind of switch up this particular way, he said he's fixing Wolves. I don't necessarily know what that means, and as of the time I'm posting this, it should be the next day. I don't think he'll have it up yet. So we'll see what that means when he actually, fixes Wolves, whatever that means. I don't know if he's going to make adjustments to the feature listing or the production. Love the song, but I prefer the original. Me, particularly, I really enjoyed Vic Mensa. Silver Surfer Intermission. Interesting instrument, addition to the album. Had Max B, on the phone there. To me, this kind of seemed like a buy-in to kind of calm the people who were like really pissed about Waves. But yeah, man, definitely, really cool to hear from Max B, and definitely cool to hear kind of like that cosign. 30 Hours, he basically dropped this on Friday when he was supposed to drop the album, because the album didn't drop until the next day. At first, the first time I heard it, I thought it was a snoozer, but over time, I'm definitely digging the instrumentation, that moving percussion, like that really engaged, fast tempo percussion. I definitely enjoyed. No More Parties in LA, definitely the standout track, the kind of back and forth call and response kind of nature of Kanye and Kendrick's verses, both of them really going in. Old school Kanye kind of like rapping out of pocket like how he used to do. Definitely loved it. That's, by far, in my opinion, one of the best songs on this album. We got Facts, the Charlie Heat version. The original Facts I did not like, but this one was definitely a lot better. Kind of whole, revamped the beat. It didn't have that whole Jumpman, it felt like a recycled Jumpman with a whole bunch of corny lyrics the initial time, but this one kind of gave it, a little bit more spunk to it. And then lastly, we got Fade. We got Post Malone and Ty Dolla $ign again. Interesting. I like this song. What I don't like about it is its placement on the album. I don't know, it didn't feel like a very suiting outro in my opinion. If you look at it, Facts felt like a bonus track. No Parties in LA was a banger. He could have ended it off on that and then thrown Fade, at any other point in the album, and I felt like it would have fit a little bit better. But really enjoyed this song. I was really excited to hear what Post Malone was gonna do. As of right now, from Post Malone, I've heard White Iverson, Too Young, that one track he did with 50 Cent, and now this. So I'm starting to get a feel for Post Malone. It's still so, you know, early on. His albums due out in March. So I didn't really know what to expect, but, you know, got some great melody on this, great chemistry between the three artists. And I thought it was, you know, a great song. Again, not the best outro, but a great song nonetheless. So apparently this is not even the finished project. Ye did say that he's gonna be working on the album and eventually drop the completed work on Tidal for streaming, but apparently it's never gonna be sold. Really enjoyed this album. You know, final thoughts here. Really enjoyed this album. I was able to listen to it like 3 times front to back, and a couple, you know, listening to chunks here and there. So, you know, I have some degree of familiarity with it. I'm not ready to really rank it in his discography where it is. But I think it's a really solid project. Kind of, you know, surpassed my expectations. Wasn't sure if he was gonna go old school, because, you know, with the Good Friday tracks, The Real Friends, No More Parties in LA definitely had like an old Ye flavor. Facts was kind of like, you know, some modern nonsense. So I wasn't sure if he was gonna kind of like appeal to the younger audience with some, you know, trap flavorings. I wasn't sure if he was gonna go experimental with like a Yeezus style. I didn't know if it's gonna have melodic stylings of 808s or the old school sampling of his original trilogy, you know, late registration, college dropout era. But I feel like we got the best of all kinds of Ye. We got Ye spitting on this one. We got, you know, melodic Ye. We got braggadocious Ye. We got the soul samples, more experimental, electronic kind of instrumentation. So I think we got a lot of good stuff here. And is it a perfect album? No. But, you know, I definitely think it's a step in a completely right direction for him right now. And makes me, you know, really curious as to what kind of future holds for Kanye. And I'm glad that this late into this career, after this many albums, he's really able to like grab hold of the hip-hop scene and really put out a solid project. Curious as to what y'all thought about it, so in the comment section below, let me know what you thought about this album as a whole, and what do you think about, you know, this direction he took with this album. And the rollout was trash for sure, you know, him putting this album so confusing. Is it up, is it not? That's one of the biggest criticisms I say, is that it was super unorganized with the way he put it out. But now that it's out, I have to say that I am satisfied with this album, and I'm curious what y'all guys think. So till next time, this is JV. I love you guys. Bye.